I wanna know if you can get to that. Then you can you get? I wanna know if you can get to that. Then you get? I wanna know if you can get to that. Then you get? I wanna know if you can get to that. Then you get? I wanna know if you can get to that.
When you base your life on credit and your loving days are done, a check you sign with the loving kiss a later come back shine. Insufficient fun, y'all get to that.
Can you get?
I wanna know.
I wanna know if you can get to that. Then you can you get? I wanna know if you can get to that. Then you can you get? I wanna know if you can get to that.
Hello, my love, I heard a kiss from you. Red magic satin playing it too. All through the morning rain I gaze, the sun doesn't shine. Rainbows and waterfalls run through my mind. In the garden I see west purple shower bells and tea, orange birds and river cousins dressed in green. Pretty music I hear, so happy and loud. Blue flower echo from a cherry cloud. Feel sunshine sparkle pink and blue. Playground will laugh if you try to ask, is it cool? If you arrive and don't see me, I'm going to be with my baby. I am free, flying in her arms over the sea. Same window, yellow candy screen, 6 fingers of pie, with velvet roses digging freedom fly. A present from you, strawberry letter 22. The music plays, I sit in for a few.
Yo, yo. You got me? I don't know if we're like, I'm just getting them quiet for a second. Okay, guys, does anyone need another beer? Okay, then get it now. Okay, speed it up. Brittany, come on. Aaron, where are you guys at? Yeah, if you guys want like a quick beer, get your food orders in, maybe like a little bathroom break. Oh, we got 15 seconds, so hurry up. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I think we're good. I thought it was 6:26 or 5. I thought we had 5 minutes. Are we live? Oh, we're live. Oh my gosh. Okay, I did this last time. Okay, guys. Oh my gosh. Welcome again. Is this loud enough? You can hear me? You're gonna be able to hear GR. He's a little quieter than I am. Yeah, so welcome guys to our second speaker series. We did one last week and we talked about weather. And now we have GR Fletcher here from Snow Basin Ski Patrol. Give it up. Yes, a long time master of his trade. Almost longer than I've been alive. But yeah, we got GR here. He's going to talk about Snowpack tonight. And then, so yeah, this is week 2. Just remember, we still have 3 more weeks after that, which would be next week will be accidents. And then terrain. I apologize. Terrain is next week, accidents, and then rescue. So 3 more weeks after. And yeah, we'll give it up to Mr. GR. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Nicole. I don't know if you said I won't be as loud as you, but I can try, actually. So, yeah, name's GR Fletcher. Been at Snow Basin since 1991. See, that's actually good. If people who know me know that standing in a corner is not my thing. So this will be a challenge for me to stand this far away from the crowd. So, yeah, 1991, started at Snow Basin. So whatever that is, 30 years, does that put me? So, yeah, close. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, so 30 years, Snow Basin. I spent the past 14 summers working in Grand Teton National Park. So for 14 years or so, I've been full-time rescue work. I've learned a lot in those 30 years or so. There's been some ups, downs, plenty of challenges. I'm not, as far as Snowpack goes, I'm not the science kind of guy, really. I'm more just kind of a kinesthetic feel for the snow. So we're just going to talk the best we can about the Snowpack, the way it feels to me. Not a lot of science, not deep, dark kind of stuff like that. I don't know if anybody saw this picture. Oh, the other thing, I get one more addition on there. I also spent two patrols on Denali National Park, so I did 2 stints there, rescue work there. Yep, somebody's familiar with Denali. The other thing I like to do, am I doing okay with the camera here? Back, okay. It's going to be a challenge. You guys are so far away, I like to be close to the people. Where was I going now? Oh, I also want to know about you guys here. So, I know our guys, Snow Basin Ski Patrollers. Let's see the hands. There we go. There's one back there even. Yep, good. Okay, yep. There's got to be some Powder Mountain people here. Okay, good. Non-ski patrollers? A few, good. Out of that group, anybody here not a skier, snowboarder at all? Yeah, okay, yeah. No, so there is one. Oh, good, there's one there. So we at least all have ground rules. We know what we're dealing with. We've all skied. We all enjoy the sport. Snowboarders. Okay, good. Skiers? A little more enthusiasm. Good, thank you. So that's where we're at. Let's go here, see if I can take a shot. Oh, Corey, when he called me, where is Davis? There he is. Yeah, it kind of blindsided me just a bit. That's a goal. It worked. He called me, said, hey, can you talk on Snowpack? First thought is, no, I'm not going to talk on Snowpack. But he gave me a day to think about it. I decided I would do it. I still don't know if that's the right decision, but I'm going to try it anyway. He said to do 35, 40 minutes, so I figured I can pull that off. We'll see if we can do that. 35, 40 minutes. We'll talk about Snowpack. We'll move on. We'll tell some stories. We'll see what we can learn together here. Okay, let's see what we got. Snow. Sometimes it snows. This is when I used to live up on the mountain. This is what a car looks like after a storm. I got to get back again. Yep. After a few days of snow, that piles up. Looking at that snow, what do you think about that snow? Wish it was here now. There you go. Perfect. It's pretty light, and it has the wind. You can tell the wind hasn't blown much. It's still all in the trees. So that's a long storm with not a lot of wind, which is good. What do you think the skiing's like down at that with that kind of snow? Deep. Yes, deep. It's probably pretty good, I'm guessing. But we don't know what's going on other places on the mountain. Let's look at another spot. So that's deep snow there. The other thing that's going to happen here is this snowflake. Yes, it's pretty, isn't it? I saw this snowflake this morning when I got up. Good. Read the advisory. I saw Drew had posted this picture. I was like, oh, Drew, that's beautiful. So I put it front cover here because I think it's a beautiful picture. Doug Weaver, the photographer, I know very well, so I called Doug. I said, Doug, is it all right if I put your picture up for this presentation today? And he said, of course you can. Yeah, it's an advertisement for his company, so that's good. So we did that. The other thing is Doug told me the story of this snowflake, which is good. It's always good to have a snowflake with a story. So the story with this snowflake is he heard that it was snowing last night, which I didn't know, but it did snow last night. Powder Mountain got snow last night? No? Okay, well, Doug heard it was snowing, so he left his house, drove up to Powder Mountain so he could take pictures of snowflakes. This snowflake fell out of the sky. It's pretty amazing. This thing fell all the way down. I think Keaton said, what kind of journey did it have? It's a pretty amazing journey. All the way down. It was a calm night. So the advantage of this snowflake is it didn't bump into other snowflakes. It wasn't being rustled about and all that kind of stuff. So it landed somewhere up in Powder Mountain. Doug took that picture, and that's what we got. So it's amazing to me that this little snowflake, look how fragile that is. There's not a lot going on there. You put a bunch of these together with the right elements, they can create great skiing. They can create weak snow, create giant avalanches. It's just, to me, I thought about that little thing, how much that can create from just putting this stuff together. So, yep, snow. So it does snow. When it snows, skiing's good. Even now, how's the skiing now? Amazing. Yeah, I love it. I think it's good. No, the skiing's smooth. It's soft. The Lone Tree north-facing chute was good. So there's still good snow out there. It's good. No, I think it's good. So this is a calm snow. This is where powder snow. This same kind of event, you go up higher on the mountain. What could happen up higher? Wind, yeah. Do we get wind at Snow Basin? No, yeah, perfect. It's always calm, yep. Do we get wind at Powder Mountain? No, it never blows. Yeah, no, it never blows. Only Nordic Valley blows, okay. Well, let's look at what happens when the wind blows. This is from a couple weeks ago, top of Snow Basin. Yeah, so there's some wind, different kind of snow. The wind blew, completely blocked our doors. Cat removed it. It took us an hour and a half to dig into our door. So, yeah, wind effect can really affect the snowpack. So the snowpack's affected by a lot of things. Let's see here. There it is. How's that look? See, there's something to that. We all are doing this sport because there's something to it. There's something amazing about it. There's some magic to it. A good powder run like that goes a long ways. Even a good corn run, a good chalky snow run, a good chute run. Just somewhere up in the mountains skiing snow feels good. A run like that feels really good, actually. There's something amazing about it. There's something addicting about it. Do we want to do it again and again? And somehow you can't get enough of it, so you come back the next day to repeat that. And I usually like to use my hands more, but I'm going to try to do it the best I can. There was a time at Snow Basin when we had a guy who, when he'd get up in the morning and talk about snow, he would do this. Meaning, it's a 6-inch storm. He had that addiction to it, and we all have that. The other thing that goes on is all the guests have that too, because when the guests come up and ask us about terrain, they don't say, we would like, if possible, to go ski that terrain. The term that we often hear is we need to ski that terrain. So there's a need for that, and that powder skiing is an addictive thing for sure. The other part of it, being in this sport, being in this business for 30 plus years, working year round now for 15 years in the rescue business, there's some challenges out there too. I started in 1991, my first year as a ski patroller. The first thing that shocked me is I walked into the room and I looked around, and I was a 26-year-old kid excited for my first experience of ski patrol. And I saw a guy in the room who was almost 40. And it blew my mind. I'm like, holy cow, you're still ski patrolling? What a shocker. I didn't know people did this until I went to Steamboat on Exchange, and I realized people do this till they're 50. Somehow, I never planned on doing it this long. My plan was to do 1, 2, maybe 3. And now, 30 years later, still here. What's our experience here at Snow Basin? Who's got besides me? Rich, how many years? 11, good. 11th here. How many? Where else did you patrol? 11th year. Okay, good. Who else? Anybody more than 11? What's our experience base here? No, anywhere. Nicole, what do you got? 19. Oh, good for you. Nice. Yeah, hang in there. Don't quit. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Longevity in the sport, longevity in the job, longevity in the business. That goes a long ways. Corey, the doctor. Where's Steve Fife? Dr. Steve Fife. Steve, let's hear a little bit of your experience. Where have you patrolled? Let's hear it, Steve. 20 years here, good. 13 years Colorado, that's a long time. Yep, keep going. See, look at that deep experience we got from Fife. And you know what? That deep experience, Steve, you took 4 years off? 4th year off. And you know what we did today? We invited Steve back, and he filled out his application, and he's managing the computer stuff just fine. And hopefully next week, after 4 years of retirement, we'll be back ski patrolling. And we're psyched to have him. Yeah, Steve, psyched to get you back. So yeah, 1991, I started ski patrolling. Shocked that people did this professionally. Met a guy, kind of a mentor my first season, somebody who had been around the block a little bit, had some deep experience, and I was grateful that he took me under, showed me around, taught me some things, took me to some neat places, kind of learned kind of the deeper part of ski patrol, and I really appreciated that. That helped me see that this job had something to it, some growth, some depth. The thing is that ski patroller, a few years later, doing control work, ridgetop, Solitude Mountain, was taken off the ridge, thrown an air blast, down the slope, buried. 15 minutes, not that long, but because of the snowpack and the density of it, unable to expand his chest, and that ski patroller passed away in that event. And that was tough. It's a tough business. A couple years after that, patrolling at Snow Basin, family came back out here from out east, do it all the time. Dad, boys coming to do some skiing. Boys that Boy has he's a great skier. He gets after it, just like any 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid, getting after it. He's come out west. He's ready to ski the big mountain. Skiing out, takes a left turn, gets into out of bounds, uncontrolled terrain, gets out of sight. Dad skis down, doesn't see his boy, does see debris, which he doesn't even know. Dad doesn't even know what an avalanche is. Dad came around, talked to us. We put the story together, and now we're in a rescue mode, finding a 17-year-old boy. And what's really hard is telling a dad that a 17-year-old boy who came out with us on vacation has passed away. So that's a tough business right there. Telling a loved one, telling a father, telling a mother, that kind of thing. Later, I think y'all last year, a coworker we all know, Mike Erickson, who sat here and spoke last year, big storm cycle at Snow Basin. I still remember exactly where I was, who I was with, exactly how I felt. Hear that radio call of something happened. Hear Mike trying to talk on the radio as his chest wall's blown up. We go into rescue mode once again. We get Mike down. It's a big powder day, lots of snow. If you've been to Snow Basin with lots of snow, lots of people pile up at the bottom. A lot of this, a lot of anticipation, a lot of wondering what the patrol's doing. And this event dramatically affected a lot of patrollers, not only because their partner and buddy was injured, but because when he got him down, the crowd had other things in mind other than our patrollers' welfare. They did express, the boos were heard, that they weren't getting what they wanted, and what was happening was affecting their needs, and that did affect a lot of patrollers. Some of our strongest, toughest, mentally strong patrollers were really dinged by that. So it's a tough business. It's a tough crowd to please. Last experience, Grand Teton National Park, early May. Just barely got there, just started. It was a rainy, wet week. Another thing that happened is it was a rainy, wet night. And if you've been there, I don't know, you've probably all been there, but my cabin, my little home in the woods there, has this nice little metal roof. I'm not a great sleeper. I got a lot of anxiety. I'm always up. But if the rain's coming down, the pitter-patter on my roof is a giant relaxer. Not only because of the sound, but because when it rains or when it snows or when the weather's bad, I relax because I think, oh, good, nobody's going to go in the mountains today, so I can relax 100%. And it's interesting, our whole crew says that. So a group that's been doing this job for 30, 40 years, rescuing in the mountains, we all get together in the morning. You can see the relaxation. Everybody says, oh, I'm so glad it rained all night because nobody's going to go in the mountains. So 100% relaxed. I was feeling great. Wandering around, pace is slow, getting ready to go. 10 o'clock, call comes in. My mind was blown, actually, when my neighbor comes over and says, GR, we got to go to work. 4 people buried, avalanche. So, time to go to work. What it was, as you can tell, so it's rainy, it's wet. So something's going on. There's some snow up high. We don't know, down low, down high, difference. There's a 7,000-foot difference in the Tetons. What it was a small wet slide. Small is relative. The term was it was no deeper than not even halfway up the boot. So small, but in steep terrain, small will knock you off your feet. And if you're in big terrain, that small will knock you off your feet for a long ride through rocks and cliffs. So the 4 people, 1 stepped out of the way, watched it go by. 3 others were hit, taken off their feet, knocked down through the cliffs, through the rocks, and that was our job to figure out what had happened. 1 person okay, 1 person with a badly injured leg, 1 person known fatality, 1 unresponsive, labored breathing, thready pulse. So now we got to figure out how to get 4 people off the mountain in bad weather. Turns out we got the 1 off first, 1 with unresponsive. He eventually died later in the hospital as he got transferred. Got the guy off the bad leg, the uninjured party. We eventually got him all off the mountain. The one that was left was a known fatality, but now the snow had buried him because it kept flushing off the mountain. Found him, got him off the mountain. But just a few of my experiences with the snow and some of the tragedies. So in my mind, the snow's got both. It's got this great reward, this great experience. Things are amazing. Love it, feel good. I love to get out with my friends, go skiing, travel in the mountains. There's also the other side of it, the tragedies that happen as we've been around. So it's just, after a lot of experience, it's kind of been some of the things I've dealt with as far as the snowpack goes. Let's look more deeper into here. We got, let's look at the mountains here in general. So this morning, sorry, I'm probably in a bad spot again. This morning is the first time probably in a month. I usually go to work in the dark and I come home in the dark. Today, I stayed home, which was a rare thing for me. Actually, it was kind of hard. It's like a long time to sit around and not go skiing a whole day. So I stayed home. The one thing that was interesting, I was able to look out my front window and see Ben Lomond. So I'm looking at Ben Lomond, and the mountains from a distance, you look at them. They look like they're static, like they're dormant, like there's not a lot going on there. But there's always something going on. There's a lot going on there. When I look at the mysteries of the mountains and what happens out there, I don't know why I go to, but my favorite Old Testament prophetess, I like this woman. You think Old Testament. You think a powerful leader woman. Pretty rare, pretty good concept there. So this woman was leading her people. She was not only leading them, led them to a great victory. And when they went to do this battle, they went to the prophetess Deborah, and she said, hey, here's the plan. If we're going to get our country and our thing back, we got to go fight these people. And the warriors in that country said, we're not going to do it unless you go, Deborah, and lead us. So I think about that great, powerful woman. I think about the patrollers we have, our women in here. I love that we have that and the leadership we have amongst our own women crew. But what Deborah said after that victory, she came back and she sang a song. It's called the Song of Deborah. And it's my favorite line in the Bible. And it is, the mountains flowed before the Lord. And I love that. It's just that kind of that eternal deity kind of thing that can really understand what's going on up there. These mountains are always moving. They're not static. They're not dormant. They're a seething mass of activity. There's always something going on in there. It's always different, too. Snow is complicated. It's not completely understood. No matter how deeply we think about it, we don't understand it. Across that space, there's so many different aspects, elevations, and the snowpack is different in all those spots. You got the shade, you got the steep, you got the trees, you got the ridgeline where the wind blows. It's always different all over the place. Snow is also very difficult to understand. It's also very difficult to test. It's the temperature, it's very close to its melting point, so it's always changing, always evolving. It's never the same. One thing I like to say, I don't know if I like to say it, but I do say it, is once the snow is in the pack, the crystal dance never stops. So the crystals are always changing, always evolving. Something's always going on within that snowpack. And things are affecting it all the time. Weather, we get storms. Are storms all the same? No, they're all different. We're going to get different temperatures. We're going to get different winds. We're going to get different kind of snow. It's always going to affect things. Things are always going to be a little bit different. It's never going to be the same thing. The sun's going to affect it, so we're going to get some heating on that. We're going to get some melting. We're going to get some wind crust, some wind slabs. Things are always affecting it. Going back to Corey here, ridgetop, strawberry, 1 inch of snow. Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah, 1 inch of snow. Woo, yeah, 1 inch of snow. What the deal? Yeah, how that's not going to affect us. Big storm previously. So we'd had some storm days. I had worked another, like my standard 18, 20 days in a row. I was tired. I got up, 1 inch of new snow. I thought, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the day off. What happens on ridgetops? Wind. Yes, we all love the wind. Not really, but a wind. The wind blew. Corey was up there on top of the ridge with his partner. Deep patroller with deep experience. He'd been around for a long time. How many days have you patrolled at that point? 3 days of patrolling. So Corey is all new to this game. He goes to the top of the ridge. It's like, yeah, whatever. It's windy. It's snowy. Yeah, we're going to deal with it. We're going to move on. His partner with deep experience realized that something was not right, that this wind had changed things, that this wind had affected things. So what did he go out and do, Corey? Yeah, he went out and ski cut. Top of Strawberry. Those of you who know Top of Strawberry know it catches a lot of wind. It can blow that wind right over there. 1 inch of snow, wind, previous storm, snow to move, and he caught that. He went out to ski cut. The other thing is the lift, I think it was open. We were open at this point. People were coming to go skiing. Something had to be done. So he went out and ski cut. You watched him. What happened? He did. He went for a long ride. So small. What kind of slab you think he's on? Wind slab, yes. Hard or soft? Probably, it was hard, yeah. So a firm wind slab. He took the ride all the way down the road. What's Strawberry like early season besides snow? Rocky, yeah. So there's lots of rocks out there, yeah. Thank you, Brittany. Yeah, there's rocks. So now he's on a slab, going down this hill, moving pretty quickly. Rocks are coming up. So he goes down, takes the big ride. We're open. Slams a rock. The interesting thing is we took a toboggan down to him, and he prepped his own toboggan, got everything ready, which is good. He got in, jumps in. I don't know if he jumped in, but he got in somehow. Took him down the mountain. He ended up breaking his back. He missed a whole season. So, yeah, things happen. Things evolve. I always hear that. Yeah, it's 1 inch of snow. What can happen? That's why I'm always anxious. It's 1 inch of snow. Something always can happen. Yeah, so be ready. Things are out there. Let's see here. So what happens as it storms, all these storms are different. The snowpack is eventually going to be, what do we got there? Layered. We're going to have different kind of quality of the snow. So layering is what's going to affect that snowpack. We're going to have different slides according to different kind of layers. Is it sliding on a slippery surface? Is it sliding because of a weak layer? All kinds of things are happening with that layering in that snowpack. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that go on in the snowpack and some of those things that are affecting us right now. As Keenan said, the past, the present, and the future. Yeah, so the snowpack is always being affected by something. We're going to talk about at least three persistent weak layers. What are our persistent weak layers we can get? What is it? Yeah, so in October we created one. Yeah, what are they called? What kind of weak layers? Depth hoar, yeah, we can get depth hoar. What else can we get? Facets, yep. Surface hoar, good, we got them, yep. Here's a test for you, actually. See who catches what's wrong with this slide. There they are. We got surface hoar, near surface facets, depth hoar. What's wrong with that slide? Come on, somebody can figure it out. Nobody can figure it out. What is it? Look at the symbols. Surface hoar, is that right? Yep. Near surface facets? No. Yeah, it should have a line through it. I wasn't smart enough to figure out how to do that, so I just made normal facets. And depth hoar. Yeah, we're going to talk about persistent weak layers. Do we have persistent weak layers? You finally caught it? I think everybody should know that. Who knows that? Oh, there's not that many people know it. Okay, I thought everybody would know it. I thought Erica would know it. She's going to a Pro 1 next week. She doesn't know it now, but next week she'll know it. I thought everybody knew that. I thought but I thought she studied already. No, she'll get it. So yeah, so those are the persistent weak layers we're going to talk about. Out of these things, what do we have out there right now in our mountains? Do we have any surface hoar? Yes. Lots. Yeah, do we have any near surface facets? Yes. Lots. Do we have any depth hoar? Maybe, maybe not. Do we have basal facets? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know what we have out there. We do have depth hoar. We got weak layers out there. Let's talk about them. All right. So let's talk about our snowflake one more time. There's our snowflake. So this snowflake is going to come down. Is it always going to look like that? Probably not. No, it's going to get beat up. It's going to get knocked around through the wind. It's going to hit the ground and get smashed over and over again. It's going to lose all its arms. It's going to change dramatically. But that's how it starts. Let's look at that snowflake. We're going to watch the evolution of this snowflake just a touch. Once it hits the ground, what can it do? What's that? It can blow around for sure. It can blow around for sure, but it's going to change. Snowflakes don't look like this very long. So let's look at this here. So once the snow hits the ground, it's either going to go round and be strong, or it's going to go facety and be facety, or it's going to weaken. So what we're going to do is try to figure out what's going to make the snow go round and what's going to make it go facety. Yes, what's going to facet it? So what does make snow facet? People, I don't know what they know out there. What anybody know? Cold. Yep, a temperature gradient. Yes, what's a temperature gradient? It's basically a change over distance. Yeah, so temperature changes over the small distance, a temperature change over a small distance will create a faceted snow grain. A non-temperature gradient will create a what? Rounded grain. And round is strong, yes. And facets are weak. Yes, if you look at your YouTube videos, what do people do when they find facets? Everybody's seen this. They do, yeah. So you go down and you talk about, oh, look at how weak this snow is. Look at this, look at this. Then you stand up and go, look at this garbage here. It falls apart. Then you blow it, that kind of stuff. So that's what we got. That's what you do when you find a fast. So if all of you aspiring forecasters or video people, when you do your snow pit, you get down on the ground, you got to do this. Talk about how weak it is. Then you get out like this and you shake it. Yep. So that's what you do. Weak snow. So faceting. Let's look at some faceting principles here. Near surface faceting. Do we have that out there? We do? Yes. Where does near surface faceting happen? On the surface or near the surface. Yes. So we're gonna look at near surface faceting. So we're looking at a temperature change, aren't we, over time? Usually I have two hands. I don't know. Oh, I can do this maybe. I don't know if I can do this. All right, here's what we're gonna do. So near surface faceting, I call it wagging the dog tail. So here we have temperature, and here we have the near surface, this hand. So as it gets sunny, it gets warm. We have a change here from here to here. When it gets cold at night, once again it cools down, it changes again. So change over a small distance equals a temperature gradient and faceting forming. What do we have now? A lot of these faceting events happen when? High pressure, yeah. So it's interesting. A lot of our weak layers form as the weather gets good because the sun's out, things are cooling, things are changing dramatically. If it snowed every single day, or most every single day, would we have a lot of weak layers? No, we'd have a solid snowpack, a healthy snowpack. We may have some instabilities within the new snow, but overall a fairly healthy snowpack. This year we've had an interesting snow year. It started in October. Yeah, it started early. We were all excited. I called Nicole, or Nicole called me, and she said, oh, it's snowing in November or October. That's great, isn't it? I said, well, it's all right. It's what it does. It does that occasionally. But what are we worried about when it snows early? Deb told her, yeah, we're worried about that. And Nicole was worried. I said, yeah, we're worried about that. But we deal with it all the time. It's not like this blows our mind or anything. Yeah, we're used to it. We do. I worry too. Yeah. No, I worry a lot too. Yeah, so this year we had some early snow. We had some weak faceting going on there. Let's look at here. We have, there's our snowflake. Ooh. So this is Snowflake Story Part 2. The snowflake came down yesterday, landed at Powder Mountain. Picture taken. It looked beautiful. Perfect stellar. Overnight, what happened to that snow? This is one night of change. This is a different snowflake, obviously, but it's the same kind of event. Yeah, it fell last night. The picture was taken after I talked to Doug on the phone. Doug's Doug's a true snow geek. He had to go outside and take more pictures. He went and took this picture this morning. What's changed on that snowpack? Anybody see it? It's faceting already. Yeah, so overnight, it's already growing facets. So things happen quickly. Temperature change over space, over time, and that snowpack has changed. That snow grain, that snow crystal has started to facet already. Depth hoar. Do we have it out there? It's a debate. We don't know. We have facets out there. Do we have basal facets? I don't know. Do you guys have any basal facets up high? Maybe not, which is good. So all you're worried, you didn't have to worry that much. Yeah. So depth hoar. Depth hoar. Where does depth hoar happen? Deep. Opposite of the surface facets. This happens deep. So when does it happen? What kind of snow? Shallow. Yes. So shallow snow. So early season snow October, early season snow November, early season snow that sits around until December is shallow. What's going through that snowpack that's creating the facets? Temperature gradient. Moisture's traveling through there. So something's traveling through there. So when we know what a temperature gradient is temperature change over a small distance. So when we have a shallow snowpack, I'm going to get down on the ground a little bit here. So we have a shallow snowpack. Is that shallow? Okay, yeah, we'll call that shallow, yeah. We'll go 2 feet shallow. That's not bad, but yeah. What temperature is the ground? 0. What temperature is the air in the middle of December? Cold. It depends, yeah. But it's often cold-ish. Yeah, 20, 25. That's still a difference. So 0 to 25 is a change in temperature over a small distance. We get facets, and that's what a depth hoar crystal looks like. It's growing. You saw that in the rubies, didn't you? Okay, doesn't know for sure. Yeah. Weak snow in the rubies? Strong over weak. There we go. Yeah, so classic, strong over weak. So depth hoar is a weak snow at the base. Surface hoar. Do we have surface hoar out there? Yeah, quite a bit. So Powder Mountain, quite a bit of surface hoar. Yeah, widespread. Snow basin, what's our surface hoar look like? Widespread. Oh, beautiful. It looks pretty. It is a pretty snow. Yeah, it is pretty for sure. Think about surface hoar. It's beautiful for sure. Yeah, it's pretty. It's a pretty kind of thing. Forms on the surface. Weak or strong? Weak. Very weak. It's very weak. What about surface hoar? Because it's so weak, what else can happen to surface hoar? It blows away. Yeah, so often it can go away. So that's the thing about surface hoar is you want to track it. You kind of know where it is, where it exists, where it didn't get blown away. But it's a very weak layer, especially if it stays intact and gets buried. One thing that I used to do when I used to be able to look at the snow more often before I had this new job that I have now, I used to, one of my things I used to like to do is I used to like to really go out. I was always psyched if I could find surface hoar inside my pit wall. And always like, oh, I found it, because it's a hard thing to find. It's a hard thing to see. It's small. It's fragile. But if I could find that, it was always a huge success for me just because it was hard to do. Let's look at it in the pit wall. See it? Yep. So there it is. Yeah, what's that? 2-pounder. I don't know what it is, but it's small. Yeah. So surface hoar, if it's intact, it's a very dangerous, very suspect weak layer. So be aware, track your surface hoar, see where it goes. All right, we're going to talk a little about, we're going to go back to our snow crystal here real quick. So we're going to go back to Nicole and my conversation in October. It snowed. You were worried. And I was worried. You were concerned. Yeah, we're always concerned. So it snowed in October. What happened later in October? Warm. It got really warm. I went out and rock climbed again and went out and did all that stuff. Went out and mountain biking because the weather was good. Actually, we went rock climbing all the way into December this year, which I'm with you. Woo, it was fun. Yeah, we had a good time. Yeah, so things stayed warm and dry through November. We didn't open on Thanksgiving. We didn't open after Thanksgiving. When did you guys open, Nicole? Just a week after us. Nice job. Yeah. So, yeah. No, that was good. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's okay. But you guys open on all natural snow, though, don't you? Yeah, I'll give you credit for that. Nice job, Powder Mountain. Natural snow skis really good, actually. It's still good compared to snowmaking snow, which is wet and hard and firm and challenging. So it really makes you use your. Ooh, opening week was a challenge, man. It was steep and hard and icy, but that's what we opened to. Yep. So don't say icy. Never say I was firm. You're right. Wasn't icy. Yeah, we can't say that term at the ski resort. Challenging. Yeah, all those things. So now we're going into December. Do we still have upper elevation north facing snow? Yeah, we do. Yeah, so we still have existing snow that is shallow. And now it's starting to get weak and facety. And then, facety, I'm using that term again. Yeah, facety. And then, about mid-December, right when you guys were opening, it started to snow. It actually snowed quite a bit in December. Yeah, I did the math the best I could. I don't know if I got it right, but I had 70 inches, 7.6 inches of water. So a lot of snow, a lot of weight, all adding up, sitting on, what's it sitting on? Weak snow. See, Colby knows. That's why we need you back, man. You got the answers, man. Yeah. So, yeah. Guy knows the answers. So, we get, what kind of snow did we get during some of these storms? Rain. We got wet snow. Transparent powder. We got wet snow. We got heavy snow. Oh, my favorite one was the night that it snowed 17 inches. Everybody gets up. What are you thinking? 17 inches. Minds are blown. They're all excited. Holy cow. It's crazy. It's going to be amazing. What kind of snow did we get in those 17 inches? Upside down. Started cold, got warmer, a touch of wind. I could tell right off the bat I step off the groomer to go do my route. My skis bury, and I'm doing this to get them out over and over again. Luckily, I had Mike Erickson to lead the way, so he was able to do a lot of that to get me going where we needed to go. But upside down snow right off the bat. My favorite part of this was all the guests who are psyched. 17 inches of snow is going to be great. What do? They charge off the lift? They do. Yep, exactly. Tips bury, and they're rolling over there. Yeah, they're double ejecting right in the front. Right off the bat, we had 4, 5, 6 lost skis. I know Michelle went out to try to gather some. Mostly we said, good luck. You got all day. You got 7 hours. Keep looking. You can find that ski. But yeah, that's exactly what we had. It was an upside down storm. Let's look at it. So here's what happened. We have facets. We put a giant load, 7 inches of water on top. We go out on January 8th to test run this snow. Mostly we had our meeting. We talked about it. It's like, hey, we got to go through a few shots. We just got to double check our snow, make sure that everything's really okay. So we go out, we throw a few shots. I put out 5 air blasts. I get nothing. I think, Rich. Rich is the hero of this story. All right, Rich Webb. Here's his hero moment. So he goes out. How many shots did you throw until the big one? Was that your first shot that you threw that day? The third. So what did you get before? Black holes? Nothing? Nothing. They throw one more shot off the edge, and they... Yeah, it was a couple days after. So we were starting to think this cold, this wet snow is now frozen and locked up. It's seized in there. We're going to throw a few shots just because we can, just to test it. So Rich Webb, with his hero shot, throws one over the edge, and he takes that out. Yeah, Rich. This was all Rich. Nobody else could have done this. It had to be Rich, yeah. So Rich threw that shot over the edge. Couldn't have done it. Yeah. Took out the entire winter snowpack up to that point. Nice job. Somebody had to do it. Yeah. You didn't really ruin this game. You made it more interesting. You provided a challenging transceiver search area. Yeah, you provided a lot for us, actually, Rich. Let's go a little closer. Let's look at that crown wall. There it is. So, yeah, Who is that? Anybody know who that is? Corey Cruzy. Corey's tall. And good looking. Yes. And a cute dog. Yes. He's also good at standing against crown walls and raising his hand to say how deep that is. So that's a big avalanche. Yep. So nice job, Rich. So some sort of weak layer, some sort of deep pack on it, one slab on top of it, one magical shot by Rich Webb, and we get this. Does this still exist out there? Do we know? I think it still does. Yeah, Hell's Canyon, yep. The interesting thing is we dug snow pits in No Name. The snow pits in No Name actually presented weaker than some of this did, but that did not go. It's always a mystery. Yet, I know, it's a tough thing. Snowpack's a challenge. It's a mystery. You know, in my time controlling, my time working in the snow, I've been shocked and surprised numerous times. I've had a lot of great time skiing the snow, working together with our crew. It's a great experience. We accomplish great things. You know, in all that time, I still haven't figured out the snowpack. I don't think I ever will. I think, Corey, you should have asked me 10 years ago to do this talk. I was smarter then, actually, you know. I feel like I've gotten dumber and more challenged every single season. It's a tough thing to learn this snow. There's triumphs with it. There's tragedies with it. But overall, you know, I still love the experience. I love working with the crew. I love trying to figure out this business. And I wanted to thank all the ski patrollers, both sides, Powder Mountain and Snow Basin. It's a tough job. I appreciate people showing up every day, doing their work, sacrificing before they do it. I had a person a few years ago tell me, this line still affects me for some reason. It's a long-term seasonal worker. We were sitting on the bridge in my summer workplace, and she said, we bastardize our lives to do this, because we do. It affects our lives. As you have a family, as my wife travels all over the place, as she watches myself beat myself up over things I've done, mistakes I've made. She's watched me crawl out of deep, dark holes, and she's been there with me for some of these things. So I appreciate everyone's efforts for what they do. And I just want to thank everybody for showing up. It's amazing, Corey. You get a good crew here. Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for all your efforts. Thanks for showing up. We can talk to Snowpack more. Let's see how I did. Oh, I did all right. 40 minutes, just like I was asked. Yeah. So. Any questions out there? If there are, we can talk a little bit. Oh, good. Yeah, food. No. Matt, tacos. No. All right. Well, thanks for the invite, Corey. Thanks for coming up. Thanks for making me stand still here as best I could for a while. Yeah. All right. Everybody get back to eating and drinking, do whatever you're doing there. Thanks, guys.